You're burning 20 plus hours a week on marketing, and the system I'm going to show you does it in 20 to 30 minutes. And better yet, this exact system I'm using right now with my clients, and we're seeing better output and results with what I'm going to show you. No team, no code, no expensive subscriptions. I'll show you every piece of this system so that you actually have this running for your business by the end of this video. And there's one workflow in here that handles ads, content, and a whole lot more, and most people won't find this on their own. So let's start with the most important but often most overlooked, which is step number 1. So when it comes to the foundation, this is super important. All you're going to do is you're going to come into Claude, go into settings, capabilities, and we're here just under skills. Now, as you can see, I have a few different skills, and this is where the bulk of things are, at least this is where all kind of stems from. All a skill is essentially just context or an SOP around something you have done before that you want done across domains, right? So if that's writing ad copy and you have a specific framework, all you're going to do is create an SOP and you're going to create that into a skill. And the best part is Claude has a skill on how to generate and build skills. So you don't have to worry about creating an SOP in a certain way. Now, what is important is what is actually in the skill, right? Because you don't just want a bunch of context that's not really going to move the needle for you. I have a YouTube hook engine. I have a meta ads mastery. I have a YouTube thumbnail design. I have X article writer, and I have a meta ads marketing. Now, a few of these skills are from Corey Haines. So the beautiful thing about skills is the future for right now. You can actually go to Corey Haines' repo and just basically use his skills because he gives you access to those. So the meta ads mastery skill is his and the meta ads marketing skill is his. I put in my own flavor of things because there's a certain framework I like to do things. I got this from Max Finn, completely changed how things were created. The recursive expert review. This is essentially taking your prompt and it's essentially creating a autonomous loop. We are creating a set of criteria that this skill has to meet, or the output rather has to meet. And if it's not met, it keeps generating and keeps refining that output until we have it. So right now we have the 10 expert review panel. We have a retention strategist. We have a direct response copywriter. We have a behavior psychologist, YouTube algorithm expert, and X, Y, and Z. And this thing will keep going through each expert until each expert is at a 9 out of 10, right? The recursive loop. So if the average is below 9 out of 100, collect all feedback, identify the 3 to 5 most impactful changes, and rewrite the hook. Repeat until the average exceeds 90 out of 10. But this recursive loop, I want you to start adding it into your skills. It's going to save you time, even potentially credits, because this thing will just do it better for you. All right. So let me just show you an example here. So the hook you listened to in this video has been generated by my YouTube hook skill. And so what I did was, so essentially this hook that you just listened to in this video was generated by my hook skill. And so all it's going to do is it's going to ask me a few questions just to get a bit more context of what I'm looking for. The title, I automate 20 hours of marketing into 10 minutes. Here's how. Audience, business owners, proof, test AI tools and build workflows, long form, tutorial, and that's kind of the architect of the video. So what it's going to do is round 1, right? This is what it's going to give me. Okay. And then with that recursive loop, as we can see, we're not at 90s yet, right? So this is just round 1. It's going to go through the panel. We're not there completely. So now we're going to go through round 2. Look at that. We're in the 90s now. A lot better. We're still in the 80s. All right. Keep going. Keep going. Round 2, average score passed. And then we have the final deliverable, which is further optimized. All right. Key changes from the original and the final. So this is huge because now you can actually go into it. Okay. Did it really change it? Why is it changing it? You know, it's not just changing it because it's the AI and it's doing it for the sake of it. And then we have some delivery notes here. So is this perfect? No. Does it streamline a lot of things that you could possibly be doing? Definitely. And you can see how this potentially works, right? Because now I'm optimizing for hooks. I'm optimizing for thumbnails. Okay. And you have to realize too that, again, not all of this is going to be perfect. This is not going to be a 10 out of 10, but it will streamline a ton of work for you. So this is my thumbnail skill here. Because obviously with YouTube, packaging is super important. So you want to think of it, okay, how can I really move the needle? with whatever I'm trying to do. Again, whether that's landing pages, whether that's CRO, whether that's copywriting, whatever that could be for you, you have to really think, what is the real needle movers? Because I just don't want you building for builders' sake, right? When you're in a world like this where you can really just vibe code anything, you have to be very careful of what you're actually producing and what you're vibe coding. So sure, I can do a million different things, but that's really probably not going to move the needle. That's going to bog down the team. That's going to create more confusion for me, and it's just going to be a waste of time. So this here really moves the needle, because if you're not clicking onto my video, right, if the thumbnail doesn't resonate with the title and it's not catchy enough, then you're not going to click. If the hook's not great enough, you're not going to stay. So those two things, for me at least, in my opinion, really move the needle for my channel, for this growth that I'm trying to gain. So I want to optimize for those things. And so we're going to make a skill. So anything you're trying to really optimize in 2026, just make a skill around. And then you can give access to your team through a repo. And it's just, it's amazing. Like, it is truly amazing. It's absolutely crazy. And this is the future, right? You're going to be buying skills and putting it into your software, putting it into your system. And it's going to be like this upgraded skill. It's really, really cool stuff. But here, right, so we're going to break down, again, just gave it my title, give it a bit of the hook for some context. And it's going to produce me a thumbnail, right? So concept number one, the kill time, okay? And again, this is not perfect by any means. I still need to add a little more things. I need to add more context, more research, into what I'm really looking for. But as you can see, thumbnails is one of the biggest things when it comes to YouTube. And now we can kind of have an automation or a system where instead of me spending hours searching the web, looking for something, I can at least have inspo that then I can iterate upon, which is awesome for me. And hopefully you can see how this is very applicable for what you're trying to do. So this is actually for one of my clients. Now we're creating meta ads here from that meta skill. Shout out again, Corey Haynes. You can go to his repo and actually just download these skills. Really, really cool of him to do that. And you can see we have the platform, right, where we're optimizing for. We have the objective, we have the audience, we have the headline, we have the primary text, and we even have visual direction. Now, this is awesome as is. This would take a very long time. Even if you're creating various things, what you now can do is you actually connect Claude to PowerPoint, for instance. I used to spend a lot of time producing decks. You would have, monthly reviews, whatever the case may be, quarterly reviews, whatever. And then I started using Gamma, but now Claude actually gives you access to PowerPoint, and you can provide all that information, right? You can provide this. Basically, I can download this up here. I can provide it, and then it can just create me out a deck. So this here, again, as you can see, it's not perfect by any means, but it is a lot better than what I have to do and the time it would require me to just spend creating copy, creating the audience, creating the objective, all these things that just bog down my time and require bandwidth. And the recursive prompt that I showed you helps a ton. Have that criteria that's just going to go over before creating the output. And it helps a lot. And then you can just keep feeding it back, feeding it back, feeding it back. And what I plan to do with my hook skill is actually get the data from my YouTube channel so it actually can iterate on the actual data, right? Because you want your own, your proprietary data. You want your own data because then you can just optimize for that. So it's kind of like, do more of this, don't do less of that, just like you would with any employee. So we are in Anti-Gravity, and this is the true unlock. So all we're going to do is we're going to open up Claude Code in just an empty file. Okay. And what you can do is you can just create folders for each of your clients or whatever you're trying to do. So it's all in there. But what I want to do is if I'm working on a specific client or specific task, I can open up Claude Code in my terminal or Anti-Gravity, and I can start working on each of the skills that I have. So if I'm trying to create landing page copy, if I'm going to try to create a funnel and I'm going to try to create ads all for the same client, what I can do is I can just have multiple agents doing that for me. Or what you can also do is just use a workplace within Anti-Gravity here. I can view open here. And I can actually just create my own workspace in a new folder. And then from there, you can do the same thing essentially with Claude Code. Whatever. The thing I'm trying to get at is instead of just using desktop Claude, and kind of doing the task one at a time, I can do a bunch of windows, and I literally can condense hours of work into maybe 20 minutes. And that is the impactful part about using these tools like Claude Code. So I am currently on the max plan with Claude. I only pay the 140 per month. But as you can see here, current session, right, resets in essentially 5 hours here. Hardly have touched it, which is perfect. All models resets Saturday at 2 p.m., 16% used. With the Pro plan, I was coming into issues. I would always be cut off just because I was doing so much. And just so you are aware as well, this browser feature up top is a complete game changer. I love it. I use it. However, there's two things. One, it does burn credits tremendously. So you have to be careful of what model you're using, how much you're really using it, what kind of tasks you're using it for. And number two, it can be very slow, which ultimately just means it's going to burn more credits. So if you're trying to create something that you've never done before, the browser is very helpful. And I would just let it kind of, unfortunately the trade-off is you're burning tokens. However, you'll get something put together. Or you can just change your models. So you just have to be careful. You have to be careful of when you're using the browser feature. It is still in beta. So it is, I'm super bullish on this feature here. I use it a lot. And as you can see, you're going to want two monitors because you can start really, your productivity just goes through the roof. So I'll have essentially the browser open over here on my monitor. And you can really start doing, like, it is insane. I can have multiple windows open of creating, again, various things for the same client or even for your business. And then the browser can be doing something completely different. Essentially what you can do in a day, you can achieve in like an hour. Okay. Now I do recommend still having a human in the loop, but like 80-90% of it is already done. And you can go from there. You can see what you can do for your business and what skills you can start developing so that you can streamline a lot of this tedious stuff or even a lot of the boring stuff you don't like doing, so that you can enjoy or even start attacking those higher leverage tasks. As always, thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.